Two titans of the Tiffany network came crashing down this week. Chairman and CEO Les Moonves was forced out following two explosive sexual misconduct stories in The New Yorker. And 60 Minutes chief Jeff Fager was sent packing after sending a threatening note to a CBS reporter working on a sexual harassment story about him. Emily Rooney has the story.
Two big guns are out at CBS. In the past month, The New Yorker has printed two damning stories about Les Moonves, with 12 women now claiming he sexually harassed or sexually assaulted them. Former producer Phyllis Golden Gottlieb was one.
When I turned like this, he grabbed my head and pulled it all the way down.
CBS is conducting an internal investigation into allegations against Moonves. In the meantime, he has an office and an advisory role and could still end up with a multi-million-dollar payout. Not so Jeff Fager.
CBS News today fired Jeff Fager, the executive producer of 60 Minutes, who'd spent 36 years at the network.
Fager, who is also under investigation for sexual misconduct, was let go after sending a perceived threatening note to reporter Jerrica Duncan. In a statement, Fager said, "I sent a text message to one of our CBS reporters demanding that she be fair in covering the story. My language was harsh. CBS did not like it."
I am that reporter. Sunday evening, I reached out to Fager for comment on the articles alleging he groped or touched CBS employees at company parties.
In addition to denying the allegations, Fager wrote to Duncan, "There are people who lost jobs trying to harm me, and if you pass on these claims without your own reporting, that will be a serious problem." Online and on air, Jerrica Duncan has been praised and supported.
I think it's important for you to know, for everyone to know back there, that we, the entire team at Evening News, supports you 100%.
As for Fager, he's been swept into the same Me Too list as the likes of Matt Lauer, Charlie Rose, and Les Moonves.
In the meantime, Jeff Fager, who is facing similar charges of misconduct in that area, is out.
They aren't all that similar, but it doesn't seem to matter these days.
We've got a lot to talk about here. I want to start by questioning this idea that Jeff Fager put forward, that what he was requesting was fairness in the coverage of him. I didn't get fairness from that text. What I got was a very strong threat.
I didn't get fairness from that text. I didn't get request from that text. Yep. I got, you do this or I will make life very difficult for you and you may lose your job from that text.
How about you, Tom? Am I being too dramatic in my characterization?
No, I think the words there were so clear. And as this has unfolded, some of those who initially came strongly to Fager's defense, when they saw those words in there, I think they either fell silent or completely went in the other direction. I think the only area that I would still perhaps leave to discussion is, after 36 years, and after I don't know if there were any prior incidents somewhat like this. We'll leave aside the allegations perhaps of sexual misconduct. We'll see where that goes. But the question is that a one and out offense? Is this a one and out offense? I don't know the answer to that. Could there have been another step? Suspended for 30 days, no pay, whatever. But there's no doubt that language was unmistakable.
Does it make you think that there is more that we're not aware of,
yes,
given that they acted as quickly as they did?
Yes. I'd find it hard to believe that one and we're done after 36 years.
Kelly, let me get you in here.
Oh no, I wanted to support that Tom's theory at this point, because I do believe that it was threatening. People have to understand that 60 Minutes is really a powerhouse inside CBS. So aside from Les Moonves, who's over the whole thing, the next strongest, most powerful person probably is Jeff Fager, because of the weight of the program. And so with that in mind, his saying something like that has a lot of weight. So it wasn't a simple threat, if you will. It was a weighted threat. Having said that, I also think there's something else going on that they're investigating, and this was just a help for them to usher him out, probably coming on the heels of saying, we said, just sit over there while we go through this investigation, and there you go. So no.
If they are investigating other stuff, do you think it will come out, or will this be an excuse to maybe sweep under the rug any other past episodes?
Well, that'll be interesting, because they have two lawyers, and if you read the fabulous piece by James Stewart in the New York Times, how the board members were controlled by Moonves, even in the midst of all of this investigation. They have two investigations because neither side of the faction on the board trusted the other. So We'll see. That should mean that there would be enough arena for them to come up with something that makes sense or corroborates each other's work or not, because they're working independently.
It was absolutely a threat. There's no question about it. What did strike me about the threat, though, is that Fager, in the course of making this threat, was asserting his innocence. I don't know what to make of that. I really don't.
A lot of people assert their innocence,
well,
right?
Yes, this is true. Now, to Tom's point that the threat changed a lot of minds within CBS, didn't change everybody's minds. In the New York Times account of this, there was a really weird quote from a female reporter at 60 Minutes. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on her name. But she said, "How can you get fired over a text?" I didn't get that at all.
That's
why
very
does the media matter?
So when you brought up the New York Times account, you might have been thinking of a different one than I was thinking of. I thought of the piece they wrote talking about how the board was split between Redstone and Moonves. And my big takeaway from that, it was a fascinating piece that people should read if they haven't already. My big takeaway from that is that it wasn't what Les Moonves apparently did that led to his ouster. It was the fact that he wasn't straight with the board.
Well, it's always the cover-up, though. Haven't we said this? It's not. If the action doesn't take you down, it's always a cover-up. And the fact that with those board members who were staunchly defending him, no matter what, before the investigation, by the way, there had been no investigation. They're like, no, he wouldn't do that. He's our guy. Even in the face of that, when the lawyer said he lied to us, then they said, oh, well, I guess we have to do something.
Well, and one of them said, I don't care if 30 more women come out making these sort of claims.
He's our leader. We stand behind him. But it wasn't that he turned out to have been wrong about what he did with these women. It was that he deceived the board. That was the bottom line. That's why they couldn't trust him.